And hello, everybody. You're live Monday night. It's October 15th, and you're live with Sherry Shriner. If you have a question for the show tonight, you can send me an email at SherryTalkRadio@yahoo.com. I'm probably just going to spend a lot of time tonight answering emails from people. I haven't really gotten to them a lot the last couple of weeks. And don't really have a whole lot to say tonight in regards to any one particular thing. And so if you have questions, I thought I would just spend the night answering questions from readers or listeners instead of really jumping into any one thing tonight, just as usual, into so many different things. You guys have been keeping me busy. I have a listener out in the UK who sent me some books on my tray, and I've been spending some time reading that, and I'll have some more about him next week. Pretty much just things you can read online already at shareinternational.org, what his whole agenda is, what his whole plan is, and all of the beasts coming with him. And so it's pretty much been the same kind of thing. If you look at Freemasonry today, the ultimate teaching of Freemasonry is that man is God in the making. And that's basically what the whole New Age is about. Man is God in the making. And so this whole one world religion that comes, that Satan's going to establish, it's going to be this man is God in the making. It's not going to change. There's not going to be a lot of stark changes. I know when you grow up in church prophecy like I did, you just grow up in that institutional indoctrinology theology and these beast prophets on TBN, they all teach the same things. You pretty much expect the events of the last days to go a certain way. And then at the other hand, you expect things to change. And it's really, it's going to be subtle. So many people aren't even going to realize the tribulation period is upon us, So many of the churches waiting for the temple to be built in Jerusalem, and so half of them are sleeping. They don't believe we're going to be in the tribulation period until they see this temple rebuilt in Jerusalem. And so all this shenanigans and playing over in Jerusalem now about splitting up Israel, giving the PLO, recognizing the PLO as their own nation, and then dividing up Jerusalem and things like that. This has been the plans of the Bush for years. I can remember 4 or 5 years ago saying that his whole thing would be to betray the Jews. I mean, he was always in it for the Arabs, the PLO over there. They've always had the script that they're going by. And so one minute they may look like they're best friends with the Jews, and the next minute they're best friends with PLO. That's because they play both sides. They play both of them. And so this whole positioning thing over there now, the Vatican already owns the land that the temple is on. People say, the Vatican's behind it, and they're doing this. Well, they've been involved for years. I think it was back in 91 and 93 that the Vatican obtained the title, the land title, the rights to the land that the Temple Mount's on now. The Vatican owns all that. And so you see everybody's footprints in everything. And that's why I don't get tunnel vision on any one thing other than this my tray on the beasts that are coming, because that's where the Lord has me. But you can see the maze. It's just a maze, different groups, different organizations, all involved with bringing in the Antichrist and this whole New World Order. A New World Order where we will be living side by side with alien and demonic freaks. A New World Order where if there's no food, you will become their food. I've tried to bring honesty to this whole New World Order and make it so people can understand exactly what it is, not exactly what they want you to think it is. But what it is going to be like, because the veil will be lifted. There's a spiritual veil. And most children, most children are really sensitive to the spiritual realm, and that's why kids will always be the first ones there's a monster under my bed, there's a monster in my room, and people think kids just have active imaginations. Children can see into that spiritual realm a lot better than adults can, and as you grow up, that veil kind of steps in between the two, so that as adults you don't see into the spiritual realm as you once could. A lot of you can remember having night terrors as children, or seeing these shadowy beings moving in your room at night and stuff, and then they say you outgrow that. It's not that you outgrow it. It's just that veil becomes a little bit thicker, and you don't see it as much. You're not this innocent child. You get older, and so you don't see as much into that anymore. Some people, as adults, still see this stuff, and I know I do. I've seen it all my life. I had a minister tell me that I was born with my spiritual ears and eyes open, and I had never known there was a difference. I'd never known, I didn't know most people, what was different for them because it wasn't different for me. I mean, you learn at a young age to stop talking about monsters because everybody laughs at you. But some people just never outgrow that, as most children will as they get older. And so it's just something I've always lived with. I talked about last week about a vision I saw of this Ishmael. And I was thinking about that during the week, and I kept thinking that wasn't from the Lord. That wasn't the Lord. That was Elf. Because when the Lord gives a vision, He doesn't wake you up in the middle of a dream state to give you one. He just He'll catch you when you're wide awake. He doesn't need to pull you out of a dead sleep. He doesn't do that. It doesn't work like that. And so the more I think about it, I'm thinking, well, this was some kind of elf thing that they were doing. Why they would put this Ishmael in my bedroom, I have no idea. And one of my friends mentioned maybe they want you to say something to incite 1 billion Arabs against you. And I said, well, they don't have to wait. All they have to do is give me some time. I'll put up one on the website. I already have one website, IslamLies.com. So it's kind of funny. I don't know what their game plan is on that. But it did give me some motivation that, hey, there's 1 point some billion Arabs that are going to be deceived by this Maitreya that's coming, because he's nobody but Cain. He's a DNA cloned body of Cain. And they're all going to be deceived that follow after this Maitreya. They're going to burn in hell that follow after him. And also, this Jesus, goes by the name Sananda Asu Emmanuel, who looks like the Jesus of the churches. He's going to deceive all the Christian aspects. They say he's going to, I don't know what he's supposed to do, reinforce Christianity, reinvigorate or something. He has nothing to do with anything but reinvent it. Everything he does, he's just going to be reinventing what the churches believe today and changing everything. And he's going to be coming with this Maitreya. I don't think they come at the same time. I believe there's a couple of months separation arrivals on them, but they could. They very well could come at the exact same time. And so you just never know what's going to happen until it's played out. I think they will come with a bang, literally. And something I've been pushing more and more and more on my websites is the whole fact of people getting involved with the orgone. I've always kind of kept this a separate part or a side part of who I am in my ministry online, but more and more and more, time is running out, folks. Time is running out. They are at the door. Satan is literally at the door. And we don't have a whole lot of time for his welcome party. We're running out of time to prepare for his welcome here on earth. And we need everybody, the Lord's people, to stand up and get this orgone out there. Because I do believe that this orgone, I know it's going to destroy them. It's going to give them plagues and diseases. It's like garlic to a vampire, orgone to an alien. It will destroy them. But I also believe it will destroy their UFO ships. And I've seen it enough in the codes, and sometimes I just don't realize what it is I'm looking at. But when you see bursting and chrome and crashing, and they're counting all their dead, I mean, come on. It has to be that this orgone energy will crash these UFO spaceships. I don't know the technicalities on that. What I think is that these UFOs are powered from the sun. Somehow they get it's not like solar energy, I guess you could say that. It's some kind of etheric energy that powers them. And